Hey, Dana here, and welcome to my vlog. And it's that time again for the Chevy Malibu to be inspected, New York State inspected. Well, unfortunately, after the inspection, I have a spring. Front spring is broken up front, and in the rear, I have a rear spring that's broken, and it's broken down. It's broken down right in there, and I have a Cat 1 code that is not clearing the spring. The spring is broken up in there, so unfortunately, this is going to be a weekend job, and I'm not too. I'll have to get back in there and check that code again for it's bank 1, and I'm not sure whether it's the how's that sitting? Well, it's a little higher on one side than the other, and yeah, one side's sitting one's sitting a little higher than the other. This is an 02. Yeah, definitely sitting a little lower. This being an 02 Malibu. Ouch. So, unfortunately, needs some work. And it's good that that I got the Mustangs coming on. Well, always something. Stay tuned, and you'll catch me on the next. And this is Project Chevy. Hey, Dan here, and welcome to my vlog. Well, I just got a call from my daughter saying that the Chevy Malibu will not start. She's had a problem with this for a couple of weeks now, and then I took it in for inspection, and it wound up with several issues, and one of them was the cat bank 1 issue. Now the check engine light hasn't come back on yet, and I can't use find out exactly what the problem was. Original problem with the cat was I had the bank 1, like I said, and I didn't pay much attention to it. I just went ahead and cleared it, and hoping it was going to reset itself after about 75 to 100 miles. And then when we took it in, it was still pending, but they didn't give me a code as to what was pending. So she just called me a few minutes ago. She had to stop in town, and now she come back out, and it will not start. She's had prior starting problems with the fuel being below a quarter of a tank. She'd put more fuel back in it, and then it would start. She'd be fine. So she's kept it above a half a tank, and now she's done that again. I don't know whether we actually have a clogged or a plugged catalytic converter. So I'm getting ready to go down and check it out and find out what's going on with it. Stay tuned. Alright, in here. Well, my assessment is she's at a quarter of a tank again. And I looked under there, I felt under there, I feel and I smell gas. So I'm thinking we may have a fuel leak to the pressure side of the system. So I'm kind of, I went and getting her another can of gas and put another gallon in there and see if it starts, because it's cranking. I can't tell if it's got fuel pressure. I hear the pump running when she turns the key, so I know that's working. But I felt under there along the fuel lines, and I'm smelling fuel. So if the system doesn't get fuel pressure, it's not gonna start. And she's had this problem a couple of times where it's been at a quarter of a tank and it won't start. So we're gonna try and get it above that quarter, and then I'm gonna have to check to see if the if I got a fuel leak or if I've got something else going on. Thank God it's coming off the road on Monday anyway, because she'll be able to get her own vehicle back on the road. And that's going to be another little segment here of what happens when you don't pay your insurance in New York State. So stay tuned. Okay, first attempt. It's cranking, but it still won't start. I put another 2 gallons in it, and it's just not doing it. All of a sudden you get a puff like it wants to start and then doesn't. And of course the Malibu has got that history of no start, but she drove it over 100 miles today, and she shut it down and started it up 4 times. And then she just stopped in there to get food and back out, start it, and it won't start. Now, my next little theory is, I'm thinking the that rear crank sensor is flooded again and is grounding out. So I'm waiting. Usually what happens once the motor cools down, the oil gets out of the way of grounding out that pin. So we're gonna try, I'm waiting for it to cool down, and then we're gonna do it that way. So stay tuned. This will be part 2.